Boy, and I thought Titan was hard to review. Hi everyone, it's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy, and welcome to Raised on Popcorn with Grant. We're going to talk about a movie today. Movies and TV is what we do here, and it's one that's flying a little bit under the radar, and that film is a film called Sex Appeal. It's going to be a hard one to describe and even harder to give my thoughts on. So Sex Appeal is streaming now on Hulu. It is directed by Talia Osteen. And it is the latest film from, I guess, the cinematic universe of American High, because it seems like they're all connected, because it's set at a high school called American High. They all previously did The Binge, which I actually kind of liked a little bit, more than other people. They also did Big Time Adolescence, which made my 2020 best of list, and Plan B, which made my runner-ups from last year. Will Sex Appeal? Well, let's find out. So, what's the film about? The film centers on a young girl named Avery. She's a high school student, clearly played by a 20-year-old, as tends to happen in these teen movies. She is played by... I didn't know who this actress was, so I'm looking it up. Hold on. IMDb. Great content you guys are subscribing for. Mika Abdallah. I hope I said your name correctly, Miss Abdallah. She plays Avery. She is a high school student preparing to go to what she calls the Nerd Prom, which is the STEM conference. She has a long-distance boyfriend, and he says, hey, why don't we finally lose our virginities together at STEMCon, where she's going to reveal an app she's working on, which she later calls Sex Appeal, which essentially she decides that, well, I'm very green when it comes to this, so what I'm going to do is my best friend who I friend-zoned years ago, Larson, played by the charming actor Jake Short, who was the high point of one of the underrated teen films from last year, This Is the Year, says, okay, every day after school you're going to come home and we're going to do various different sex acts. It's that kind of movie. It's like an American Pie type of movie. And we are going to make me an expert. We're going to do it like an experiment to prepare for my first time. But she soon finds out, as you must, that there isn't a science to sex and that love is definitely an ingredient in that. And will their friendship be ruined by the experiment? Who knows? So, first off, right off the bat with Sex Appeal, it has some laughs in it, genuinely. A lot of the laughs come from the actual sex acts themselves, which, due to the fact that this is a narrative film and not actual pornography, is portrayed in these, like, extravagant fantasy sequences. They almost look like something out of, like, a Tim Burton, like, Willy Wonka type thing. Where, like, for instance, sorry, Mom, she's stimulating him, and it's done like a rocket launch, where he's like a little pilot in like a toy rocket ship, and she's overseeing him. She's like the launching pad, and she's like this. That was funny, and there are little things like that, they're basically like almost like fantasy sequences. Those parts are funny. There's some nice stuff, including how the operating system for her app has the AI voice of Leonard Nimoy as Spock, which was very funny. Just hearing the Spock voice talking about, like, various positions and stuff was funny. But here's the biggest problem with this is, despite how good that young actress's performance is, the lead character of Avery is kind of insufferable. She's kind of like, if this movie were about the Larson character, it would be better because, like in This Is the Year, Jake Short is the best thing about this movie. He's absolutely fantastic in this movie. And his character, you really feel sympathy for this guy, who kind of is just... He loves his best friend, gets friend-zoned by her, and kind of just wants to move on with his life. And he agrees to do this out of the kindness of his heart, and she clearly doesn't have those same feelings for him. And she's she's kind of, like, robotic. Like, it's not simply that she's just smart. It's that she's intellectual to a fault. Like, it's like she's trying to And it takes forever for her to figure out that, like, what he's saying is right. Like, you can't just analytically look at this kind of stuff. It's too messy and complicated. Like, you can't just... You're gonna catch feelings. And it's... One of the things I admire about this movie is that it doesn't go for the easy, cheap, happy ending. I like the fact that one movie this movie reminded me of even more than like American Pie is, there was a movie in the 80s called The Last American Virgin that kind of was about, which was almost more from the Larson character's point of view, where it doesn't work out for the guy at the end. Spoiler alert for The Last American Virgin. He finds out he's never going to get the girl at the end of the movie. It's supposed to be a more tragic ending. It kind of goes for that kind of thing at the end, but the problem is that I'm torn, because the things that are good in Sex Appeal are really good and really funny, but I can't get over the protagonist. Like, her attitude... She's following kind of in the footsteps of what a lot of these protagonists and some of the other... and, like, the Netflix things are, where it's like... They're trying to portray it like... It's almost trying to do what Booksmart did, but the problem is Booksmart remembered to make their lead characters likable people, too. Like, this movie reminded me, the behavior of this character reminded me quite a bit of, like, the Sierra Burgess character from Sierra Burgess is a Loser. Where it's like, oh, you know, I'm just, you know, oh, you know, you could never think this way about me because I'm an outcast. It's like, no, it's not because you're an outcast, it's because you're a horrible person who's manipulating these people. It doesn't matter what it is, you know, it's weird. Like, this movie's weird because you want to like it. Like, there's likable things in it, but I just couldn't get past. But Jake Short, like, give that guy some credit. And even, to be fair to the lead actress, none of what's wrong with this character is her fault. She's giving it her all. It's the writing of her character. The writing of her character, you don't really like the main character. Like, as funny as the movie can be, and also, for a teen sex comedy, it doesn't really go far enough. It kind of, like, I look at even something like Plan B, where Plan B really tried to find humor in the awkwardness of that situation and found a way to make it funny and really likable. This doesn't really do that as much. It felt really... had its moments, but I ended up feeling kind of sour. I really don't know how to rate this. I'll give it a 2 stars. My highest low recommendation, because it's just... which means, like, low rental. Because I think the things that are in it are really good. But that lead just... Also, it wasn't too long. It was 90 minutes. But, yeah... Got some strong supporting work from Fortune Feimster and Paris Jackson and stuff. Yeah, I just didn't really care for the movie. I just... The sum effect of it is... I really liked the characters around the protagonist, but the protagonist I didn't like very much. I just thought her whole character... Even, like, Margaret Cho and Fortune Feimster, she has 3 moms, which they kind of play as a running gag, which is honestly kind of amusing, where she doesn't want them to give them advice, so one of them comes in to try to give advice, she says, go away, the other one goes out. Like, okay, it's funny, but like I said, it's... Those characters I like too, but the lead character I just didn't care for this lead character very much. I just thought she really was leading this poor guy on. And also kind of ruining his chances with a girl who really does like him, and ruining her chances as well to be with this kind of, you know, lovable guy. She was kind of, I didn't like the character very much. I didn't feel, and it also didn't feel very empowering. Like, I didn't feel like in Booksmart, because anyone who knows me knows that I am an extremely Libby, like, feminist guy. I didn't feel like this was a very empowering particular portrayal of a young woman. I felt like her character was too negative in regards to how they kind of... She just wasn't getting the point of what was going on. Yeah, this was a disappointment. Sex Appeal gets 2 stars. Let's close the book on it. Trailer Trash None, watch it on Hulu. Was there shawarma? Yeah, throughout the credits, there's a blooper reel, and the bloopers are actually pretty funny. This is kind of one of those movies you could tell they had a really good time, especially there's like a character who, I don't think has a name, but he's just like a friend of the girl who's describing the various, I don't know, finger gestures, and they have like a, yes, sexual ones, and they have like a thing where and it was really funny, where he's like trying to improv some new ones. It was pretty funny. Like, there are funny moments, but they're kind of in a vacuum. Like, it doesn't really, and again, if they shifted the point of view to the male character, the Larson character, it might have actually been better in this case, because it would have been like, yeah, this is a disappointment. Alright. We'll be back tomorrow for Belle. Tomorrow night, we'll get that Hotel Transylvania review out. I'm sorry, I slept for 14 hours last night. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know why, I just maybe needed the sleep, but I got in late and I gotta watch SNL. So the Belle review, barring another technical difficulty, will be tomorrow. Then we got Hotel Transylvania 4, Betty White, what have you, Sundance, Redeeming Love, all that happy shit. So, that'll all be next time, and until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all, I appreciate you all. I love you all, Class Dismissed, I love you 3000, be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you wanna, give it a subscribe if you wanna, give it the bell, I don't know what it does, what it's supposed to do. So I've been told. If you want to find me also reviews, listen to other fun stuff, you can check me out on, I got it wrong last video, some people probably noticed, you can find me at Raised on Popcorn with Grant. That's right, I changed my name. At letterboxd.com. As well as on Twitch at GrantATaylor225. Some of you already have, but even if you haven't, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important. And always remember, we were all raised on popcorn. Make mine with extra butter. And don't bother with sex appeal. Alright. Thank you all. Take care. See you later.